and someone has to look for your experience in that verbose, document. Try to keep it short, 3 pages, 5, depending on the position. You should be good enough. Tailor the CV to the position in quest. The one you're applying for, try to tailor. Don't have a one size fits all. Copying and pasting wrong address, position, and names. Yeah, sometimes someone writes maybe a cover letter or what, and they are writing to the managing director institute, what, and that's not the title of that person. That's not the address of that organization, and it can cost you. Overemphasizing certain sections, experiences, or qualities. Yeah, so you have all these sections to fill. Don't overemphasize you because you're an accountant. You say I'm good at numbers, and everywhere worthwhile employee. Ladies and I want to share with you a few tips of making a comeback. Should it happen that you make a bad impression, how do you recover? Is it even possible? I already said yes up there. You can. So how do you recover? How can you make good? One, get feedback. If you get feedback from people, get feedback from the person, get feedback from the interview. Okay, well, I did not get the job, or even when you got the job, how did I present myself? Ask how was my performance, and they'll tell you, yeah, you are so confident, you look, but you kept checking your phone. We saw your CV was not matching with your what you are telling us. So get feedback. If it is a presentation and you're pitching, or maybe you're pitching for business or for investment, and you either don't get it, or even when you get it, get feedback. If it's a presentation, administer feedback forms, and when people give you, look through and see where you can improve. It helps you to recover and to make a comeback. Recognition. Recognize through evaluation and feedback, same thing. Apologize at the next opportunity if applicable and fit. Here is, if you meet someone and you rub them the wrong way, you can know that I didn't do well. Even you can say, here I missed it. When you get an opportunity, start from there and say, last time we met, I was late. I came late for the meeting. Or even there, I can say I was late and it was because of ABC and D. Even if you don't justify, I'll do better next time. Or if you showed up in jeans, either you didn't get the memo or you got the memo and you are in a hurry. Say, no, I was dressed inappropriately, but that's not how I dress normally. Next time I'll do better. Invest in learning appropriate response and etiquette. This is what you are doing today. Try, invest, do research. There are lots of tools. Attend such webinars and learn on some of these things, because you may not know that you're even doing it wrong. So if you get to learn what it is, then next time you'll do better, either with that person or with someone else. Keep focused on improvement. Do not cling to events of the past. It has already happened, it has gone. When you meet this person again, much as they may still be feeling you're not the best, try again to impress them now in an improved manner. And who knows, it can change. How they thought about you can change. Yeah, be consistent with everybody, because everyone is your potential client or employer. Do not say I'll be nice on interview panels and I'll be different on in Chikubo. No, that person in Chikubo could be everyone. Do these things every day, everywhere. Allow me to end here, and I would like to thank you for listening to me. We've used much of our time. We have about 20 minutes, but we can use this remaining time for Q&A. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ambrose.
Yeah, thank you so much, CPA Catherine, for a wonderful presentation, engagement with participants. We thank you, participants, for your engagement, your questions, your comments, and most of you shared experiences. We've actually energized the insights from the presenter. Now, Catherine, we have some questions in the Q&A. There is a question from Richard Devi. He's asking to kindly talk about impressionists, those CVs, and the cover letters. Then also, how do I capture a course if I am still doing CPA on a CV? Yeah, kindly respond to those two people. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ambrose. Richard, I think we spoke about impressions through CVs. Those are the slides we covered. So the same should apply to cover letters. Have your contact information accurately captured. Have your experiences impressively captured. I spoke about using the numbers. Try to tailor your CVs and cover letters to a position you're applying for, so that you don't look off. You look connected to the company, the position, and put your value in their faces, in the employers' faces. It will help. So they say, I think we have to get this person on board, even for something. So show that you're valuable. Show that you're a worthwhile employee. How do I capture a course I'm still doing from Charles? Be authentic. If you're at level 2, you say CPA level 2. If the job asked for CPA, maybe full qualification, and you're CPA level 2, you can put it. Who knows? They can give you the assistant position. Or if they just said should have experience or should have done CPA and they didn't, because with CPA, it's either in progress or you're done. Then those are only 2 options. Put it there, CPA level 2. And where you want to capture, you can read some of the skills they want. They can say maybe want someone who can do analysis, financial reporting, and all this. You can indicate under those. You can indicate the copy, the papers you've done to show that you're relevant and worthwhile candidate. What could be the difference and similarities between CV and resume? Godfrey is asking. Ambrose, do we have to answer all these, or you choose and we answer a few?
Oh yes,
considering our time.
let's say we can answer the one. Well, there are only 2 questions. Participants, now we are in the Q&A. The discussion in the chat was closed. So post your question here at the Q&A tab. So we have 2 questions. We can answer them, and then we can even conclude if there are not more questions.
Okay. So Godfrey's question of the difference between a CV and a resume. Resume is usually short, and you don't have to explain. CV is the longer version. So if you have, if you're explaining maybe work experience, you can just put between 2020 and 2023, I worked at ABC Limited as an accounts assistant, and that's it. In a CV, you would explain what you did, what the achievements are, what were your roles at that company. That's the difference. The other one is a shorter version. A resume is a shorter version of the CV. That's the best way I can answer it, and it's more summarized. Faizo is asking, why aren't people with CPA without a bachelor's? Why aren't people with CPA without a bachelor's not considered for some jobs? Ambrose, I'll put that to you. I'll put that to you.
Okay,
It will be
I'll answer that later.
Yeah. Winnie is asking, is there a way and the institute can help us to get placements in organizations? Is it really becoming hard? Because that's also, Ambrose, I'll put that to you as well. And Angela is saying, thank you very much for this helpful webinar. So is it appropriate to ask the panelists for feedback, how you've performed after the interview? And then is it okay to indicate CPA results when presenting academic documents? Yes, Angela, you can ask for feedback because that's the only way you will know how you performed. Ask for feedback. CPA results, I don't know what that means. Are you meaning like the level or pass fail? I don't know. My advice there would be indicate either level 2 or level 3, depending on the completed level, what you've already completed. The results bit I didn't get, do you want to indicate whether pass fail or 50-60? Maybe not, because that you will attach the certificate and it will show how you perform. The grades will show. Abraham is asking, is there a possibility of accessing these slides? Well, I'll have a chat with Ambrose. I think that one, they'll get back to you over this. I'm requesting, okay, this one went away. Is it fine to put a photo on a CV or cover letter? My answer to this is tailor the CV to the requirements of the job. If they say we need a photo of you, put it there. But when it is silent, my advice, which I normally tell people, and this is really personal opinion, it's not a standard, is you don't have to put a photo unless it's requested for. Why? You may cause an impression. Again, we're talking about first impression. It can cause bias. Either you're too brown and a person doesn't like brown people, the person who's going to look at your CV first, or you have a sharp nose and they have a bad experience. Remember, impressions, we relate them to events. So you don't want to disadvantage yourself by putting a photo when it's not really a mandatory requirement. So my answer would be, depends on whether it's mandatory or not. Where was I? That was assuming you are in a group interview, how best can you approach this? Even in a group interview, I don't think there are chorus questions. They'll ask you specific questions and you're able to answer as and when you're asked. Throw more light on profile summary. Now, profile summary is everything in those sections down, summarized in 2 paragraphs. What do I lose when I indicated in my CV that I'm a level 2, but I have not attached my CPA paper? Well, of course, there's no way they'll verify. Because if you're 2 candidates and the other person has indicated their level and attached the document, they stand a better chance. Again, it's a competition and you want to stand out, you want to impress. Talk more about adverts with limit CV pages to either 2 or less. Yeah, you can. Everything that is in 10 pages can be squeezed into 1 or 2 pages. Once the advert comes and it says that, that means they don't want you to explain a lot. Try to do summary. We did summary in English. This is the time you apply that skill. Yeah, here Angela was saying I meant pass or fail. That again, the paper you attach that document, the transcript will show. Is it okay to indicate in your CV you're an associate when you haven't registered as a member? Yes, indicate, show what you are, be authentic. That's what we spoke about. Where was I? Where's the next question? How can I handle shyness on meeting someone to make a first impression? Practice all the tips we've discussed. If you are with us, Mr. Shintu, this is the time we practice what we've discussed. And practice makes perfect. Don't wait to meet someone and be there. Start with your next neighbor today morning when you go to work or to school, or when you wake up and the first person you meet, start practicing. Eventually it will become natural and normal. I have no experience, but I have most of the qualifications required. Where was I? Would it be wrong if I forge experience? You don't have to forge experience. Yes, it is wrong to forge experience. It's unethical. But use what you've been up to in life to make the required experience. And I'll tell you how. So if you've been studying, maybe there are people who study all through. They say, I'll first do my bachelor's, MBA, CPA, then I start looking for jobs. While you did that MBA project, what are the skills you learned? When you did your CPA, what skills did you learn? Put them there in form of experience. Are you part of a group of a volunteer, activity? Use that to demonstrate experience. Again, I said earlier that experience is not only restricted to work experience. When someone says I'm at level 2, does it mean he has completed? That level is still doing it. I think you need to put where you have results, where you have evidence. If you're still doing it, you're sitting the exam, you could fail it and they hired you thinking you are level 2 material, yet you're not. Yeah. We have 9 minutes to end. Ambrose, I think we can choose the ones which we can't leave, or I wanted to leave you these 9 minutes to respond to the questions which are related to ICPAU, which are related to the institute, those others that participants were asking. Over to you,
Yes.
Ambrose.
We can answer, thank you. We can answer Annunciata and James, and then Danish. Then we close. The rest seem to cut across.
Okay. James, you said Danish, James Opio, right?
Yes, yes.
Is there any way one can access CPA results in form of certificates in order to be presented? This one I think is ICPA related.
Yeah,
You
I
could help
can
him.
answer that one, yeah. So then she's saying, how does working in the same place for more than 7 years with promotions of course affect first impressions? Maybe once guidance. This question is not so clear, but seems to have.
Okay, he seems to say that you worked in one place for over 7 years and you've been promoted over those years. In that, how does it affect your first impressions? I think going forward, should you choose to move out, should you choose to meet someone and talk about your work experience, how does that affect? I don't know if I'm getting it right. If that's the case, it's two-way. Some people, it shows trust, it shows loyalty, and that's a good thing. But also some people, it can limit you in a sense that you may not have explored different sectors and what. But to me, I think it's a good thing. It's more of a positive, it's more of a good agent than otherwise. So it may not affect you exactly, really. So you just have to demonstrate that me being in one place for over 7 years and growing, I've learned A, B, C, and D, and I'm able to bring these same skills to your organization. That is if you're looking for a new job or a new opportunity or to study. Scholarships are one way of making first impressions. It shows that you're loyal, it shows that you're reliable. Over to you, Ambrose.
All right, thank you so much. Member, thank you for the engagement. Let's put our hands, members, where we are to appreciate our CPA, our presenter this morning, our CPA Kathleen Sime, for a wonderful presentation. And on behalf of the Institute, I want to take this opportunity, and actually on my behalf as well, thank you, CPA Kathleen, for taking us through how to win for the first time, how to make impressions that make us succeed wherever we go and whatever people we interact with. So we thank you so much, CPA Kathleen, for this. And we also want to thank our presenter, our students, and some of the members who were involved. And CPA Sharon is one of the members. We want to thank you so much for your engagement. And before I close, I respond to the question. CPA Kathleen, there's someone who is asking for your contacts. Maybe on the presentation, you will put a slide with your contacts, or you may share the contacts in this webinar. Yes. So before we exit, remember we have we will have our certificates on our email addresses, and we will also have the CPD information on our accounts if we are members. And you can also use the certificate to claim CPD requirements in other organizations where they are required. And there are three questions which are asked on placements for CPS students. We have a practical experience training program, and in that program, we encourage students to document your experience. I believe all of you have registered for that. When you go on your portal, you should be able to find a requirement for you to do so. Go ahead and register. It is an online process. Then you should be able to document your experience. There are 7 areas of technical which you are required to document 3, and 3 non-technical areas, and one of them is communication, interpersonal, and organizational behavior. So for you to do so, you need experience, and you need to be placed somewhere. And, we encourage you to look for where you can get experience. But should you fail, we have an email, pet@icpa.co.ug. Feel free to share your CV. Should an opportunity happen in one of the markets, then we can contact you and see whether possible we can get on board. Then CPA and the degree. Yes, there is, we and the National Council, we have worked on the National Accountancy Qualifications Framework. We are now actually a CPA qualification is more than a degree if we go by that framework. So we believe we are now engaging with employers in those aspects, and we believe that you should be not having a challenge if you have your CPA qualification, but you don't have a degree. But currently, if you really, because the markets need you to have degrees, and then you go ahead and get your professional qualifications. In case you don't have a relevant degree, there is a program with us and Uganda Martins University where you go and study a degree for 1 year. And that program, the beauty with it is revolving. Anytime you go there, you are registered, and your cost is modular. So you go where you find the students is where you start from. But if they came early, of course, they will leave you, but others come. So feel free to get interested in that. They offer a Bachelor of Science in Accounting and Finance, maximum period 1 year, 12 months. So that you can show that one. Then dress code, I think if you've been with us since 7 up to now you know how to dress appropriate. And it is a professional judgment matter, which I think the institute doesn't have a standard on that. But we've guided you through Catherine, and now you know what to do. So we thank you so much. Please join me once again to thank our presenter, CPA Catherine Senior, for a wonderful presentation. And we hope Catherine to continue engaging so that we train this human past to continue being professional. I want to wish you all the best. Let's continue interacting. In case you don't receive our slides from the presenter, send your email to cpd@icpau.co.ug. We should be able to interact so that we continue moving towards being a first-class professional accountants organization. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and have a nice day.
You're welcome.